Hi, this is Samantha Catchy, Family Assistance and Program Manager at Hope for 3. In today's TeleH.O.P.E, we're going to discuss alternatives to saying no to your kids. Joining us today is community partner Dr. Regina Crone, BCBA-D, and founder of Therapy and Beyond. Hello, Dr. Crone.
Hi there.
So if caregivers are finding themselves saying no multiple times a day, it's probably frustrating to the parents, but also the kiddos. So I can only imagine, for example, no to social skills, no to going to school, no to hands-on therapy sessions, no to shopping, no to see grandma, grandpa, or cousins. You have a strategy that can help our families when they have to say no.
Yeah, so we're going to walk through two things. So the first thing we're going to walk through is just a little worksheet activity that you've made. You can go print on the website and print off, and it's going to walk through what is coronavirus and, most importantly, how it impacts them and their world. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of escalated behaviors or problem behaviors, because we're trying to give these descriptions on it's the coronavirus, that's why the school is closed, and it's just these really big concepts. But at the end of the day, it's how does it affect me and why is it affecting me? And so we're going to walk through that worksheet. And then the second thing is it's for kids as an alternative to the worksheet or in conjunction with the worksheet is creating what we're going to call a hobby box. And that is going to through these transitions of having to say no, that is going to create lots of disappointment, which we oftentimes can see escalated behavior because the world has been turned upside down. Everybody's stuck into their homes. It wasn't like just an extra week of spring break, right? Learning this. It's a whole new routine. And so when those natural routines, like we always got in the car, we always did this, we always went to my gymnastics class at this time, or we got to go eat inside my favorite restaurant that has the playground I like, whatever those things are, is just completely disrupting. And we can't even tell kids when they're going to be able to do it, right? And so we need to be able to navigate this time within the walls of our home and come up with ways to explain this in a really simplistic form that helps them re-regulate how it impacts them and then what they can do instead of their disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so go for it.
Okay, let me quickly switch over to my screen so I can share this. And tell me if you see it. Oh, there we go. All right, I'll scroll up and down a little bit. All right, so the first thing is we're going to answer what is the coronavirus in a very short thing, but most importantly, how is it affecting me? So the first thing here listed is the coronavirus is a germ bug that makes people sick. The President of the United States made a rule that says we need to stay at home as much as possible so our family can be safe. So we have an authority telling us that we have to stay at our homes. So some changes have happened, and you can actually take these pictures that apply to you and circle them as you're talking through this, okay? So some changes that have happened. If you have parents working from home, circle that. If your school is closed, circle that. I can't go everywhere I want to go, circle that. It's really important, walking through these to show this is what variables are impacting us. I'm having to stay home, circle that, right? So whichever one of those apply, you circle those to start the conversation and build upon that. Now we go to the worksheet part of understanding how the coronavirus, that is basically a germ bug, been given a rule that we can't leave our house because we need to stay safe, has now made all of these variables change, which now bring us to, I'm stuck in my house, right? I can't do these things I look forward to. So we can make a list of things we can do in the home that are available to us, and we can also make a list of things we can't do. So that's where you might mention riding the bus, or you might mention going to that class you really enjoy, or you might mention if there's a certain activity, or if they like going to the movie theater, right? Just those things that previously they had looked forward to, we can write in the can't do, but then it's equally important to talk about what we can do. Okay, so then how you're going to go and use this worksheet, this is kind of like setting the stage for walking through what the coronavirus is, how it impacts them, but then when you start to have to say no to something,
Yeah.
You're going to be able to go bring this sheet out and go, remember, we can't go to the Chick-fil-A playground, right? But what we can do is, and then they're all listed there to choose from.
That's awesome.
So that is kind of like the first strategy in using this document. And again, it's as easy as going to the link and clicking it and printing it out. So hopefully it will help put some context around the coronavirus.
Because that sometimes will mix it up too. Because if, oh, I can't do this, oh, but I can do all these other things, then it may just help me switch over to, okay, wow, these are all the things I can do.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. One of the other things just to remember in this too is that when we're looking at, okay, is it problem behavior, is it an appropriate response? The appropriate response to we can't go do this activity is kind of like, it's a bummer, right? Yeah. You can feel disappointed. You can say, oh man, right? You can do those things. You can make a frowny face. Like those are all appropriate responses to being disappointed. What happens right now and what I'm hearing a little bit is that disappointment kind of takes over, and then the problem behavior becomes, and they kind of perseverate maybe on it, and then that constant no creates this escalated behavior. And that escalated behavior would be kind of like that beyond the oh bummer disappointment to where now it's inappropriate, it's causing maybe harm, it's disruptive in your home. Basically there's a lot of stress and frustration around it. And so having this context to go back and talk about is we get to pick something to go do that we enjoy. If I can accept at the oh bummer level that I can't go do this. Now it's, hey, let's go draw with chalk, or let's go do something that you like. Okay, so the next one is that I understand that not every child's going to respond to the worksheet, but we still want to put out a visual representation on what is available when you have to say no to something. And so we're going to encourage people to make what's called a hobby box. We're labeling it as a hobby box. And this is kind of an example.
Oh, nice.
And remember that when you put a hobby box together, it's things that your child is going to enjoy doing. They're going to look forward to doing it, but they don't have free reign to these similar things throughout the house. So it's very valuable because they only receive these things from you from reaching a goal, or if accepting the no at an oh bummer level.
Got it. So this wouldn't be the spot where you put worksheets or stuff that they don't know how to do. This is just fun stuff for them.
Yeah, this is things to look forward to. And sometimes it's not obvious of what to put in here. Like you can't just think of toys or snacks. Like sometimes if your kid likes strings, right, you can put some special strings in here. If your kid likes, you know, different items that are not, you know, we go into that, like what is valuable to your kid, not necessarily what looks like a traditional toy or reinforcer that we might.
Like smelling a candle, or the Velcro that you keep, or that sensory, that playing with something.
Yeah, those things are kind of stuck in here as something special. Okay, so now that you have the hobby box working, you're able, when you have to say no to big things that you anticipate are going to have problem behavior, you can actually put this in your sentences that say no. I'm going to give you an example, okay?
Yeah.
So I wrote this little board because I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher at heart here. So, whoops, let's see. Oh, I lost you.
Oh, I see you.
You see me? Okay.
Yes.
So this little board says right here, this is before behavior. This column is after behavior, and did it happen? Yes or no? And then this one right here is after the behavior. So in the first part of the behavior, we're going to have to say no to something. We're going to pair it with, you know what? No, we can't go see grandma today, but we can go do blank. We look at our worksheet, or we go look at our hobby box and find something in that. If no problem behavior occurs, then look at that hobby box. It bounces from me promising it to them now getting it.
Correct.
Okay. And what starts to happen is no doesn't always mean now a worsening set of circumstances. It means a new opportunity. Does that make sense? Sorry, that's my door chime in the back. So then in the next scenario, what happens if my kid does have problem behavior? Well, we've offered the same thing. No, we can't go to grandma's house, but you can have the hobby box instead. But now the behavior is not at the oh bummer level. It's much more agitation, much more disruptive, look, we do not deliver the hobby box for that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because there was a tantrum or problem behavior that happened.
Right. And the last thing we want them to do is start to have tantrums to get offered different alternatives, right? We want them to be able to accept that sooner rather than later. So the next one is if someone has problem behavior, then you're going to reset circumstances. Basically, you can do like a simple task or activity, or fold your hands is a good one. Let's count to 10 and calm down. And then you can represent when they ask again, can I go to grandma's house? You can say, you know what, we can't go to grandma's house, but with the hobby box in your hands, you can say, no, but we can do this.
Okay.
The hobby box, right? And then the idea is that because we have the hobby box visible over here, they're less likely to have problem behavior again. And so we'll see no problem behavior. And then if you see no problem behavior, then the hobby box can bounce, you can deliver it.
Awesome. And this could also be something they do include in the morning routine. So instead of waiting for that problem behavior situation, they could even say, all right, we're starting the day. Let's go look at all the fun stuff that you could do today.
That's right. And you can use the hobby box for, again, like getting through schoolwork, having some kind of token system or direct access after a goal. And you can also use it in addition to that when you say no. So,
awesome. Dr. Crone, thank you so much. This was so practical and I think so timely, especially with everything that's happening. And I think our families are really going to appreciate this. We hope that you enjoyed a TeleH.O.P.E session. Please like and share on your social media pages. For more resources, check out hopefor3.org/resources. Until then, bye.